If you're tuning in, you're likely building some kind of app. Maybe wearing all the hats while you're at it. Maybe you're a developer, DBA, you name it. And you're probably trying to make sense of the cloud database world. What's going to give your app the strongest base? Something that can handle those crazy traffic spikes, stay online no matter what, and maybe even reach users all over the world. And I think that's where this deep dive comes in. TiDB Serverless versus Planetscale. You see, both are making big waves, but I'm here to help you figure out which one fits your needs best. It's a big decision, no doubt. Both platforms are claiming effortless scaling and rock solid reliability, but as always, the details do matter. Let's break it down. Starting with that magic word, scalability. Every app developer's dream, right? Handling growth, but without all the stress. Imagine this. You launch a marketing campaign and boom, app traffic explodes. With TiDB Serverless, you don't have to scramble for more servers. It automatically scales its resources up and down in real time based on what's actually needed. So if things quiet down, you're not just stuck paying for servers just sitting there. TiDB Serverless can even scale down to 0, meaning you only pay for what you use. And I think this is especially good for apps with unpredictable workloads or traffic that changes a lot throughout the day, which I think makes a lot of sense, especially for startups trying to keep costs down. Now, what about Planetscale? How do they handle scaling? Planetscale approaches scaling a bit differently compared to TiDB Serverless. They do offer automatic scaling, but here's a catch. It's only available on their pricier enterprise plans. For example, automatic scale in and scale out. Planetscale's enterprise plans can automatically add or remove resources based on your app's demand. This means more flexibility during traffic spikes and cost optimization when things are quiet. They also take care of the heavy lifting handling data distribution, replication, and failover to ensure your app stays up and running smoothly without you needing to manage the details. However though, if you're on one of the cheaper tiers, you don't get this automatic scaling magic. Instead, you have to choose the power of your servers up front. This means you're paying for a certain level of performance whether you're fully utilizing it or not. It's kind of like paying for a Ferrari when all you need to do is drive to the store down the street. This can really add up, especially if your app isn't busy all the time. So then, what are the key differences compared to TiDB Serverless? Number 1, scaling granularity. While TiDB Serverless offers more granular scaling by independently adjusting compute and storage resources in real time, Planetscale's automatic scaling on enterprise plans focuses more on scaling database instances like shards or replicas within the managed environment. And when it comes to pricing models, TiDB Serverless uses a pay-as-you-go model, which can be more cost-effective for apps with variable workloads. And in contrast, Planetscale's automatic scaling is locked behind their higher price plans, making it potentially less flexible for startups or smaller projects. And last but not least, flexibility and control. TiDB Serverless allows for automatic scaling down to practically 0, ensuring you only pay for what you use, while Planetscale's lower tiers require you to commit to a certain level of resources from the get-go, regardless of actual usage. So with Planetscale's lower tiers, you might be paying for more power than you need, leading to higher costs when your app isn't constantly busy yet. On the other hand, their enterprise plans do offer robust automatic scaling, but at a higher price point. So bottom line, if your application demands dynamic scaling and you prefer a pay-as-you-go pricing structure, TiDB Serverless might be the better fit for you. However, if you're looking for the automatic scaling features and are okay with the higher costs associated with Planetscale's enterprise plans, then Planetscale could still be a strong contender as well. So scalability point to TiDB Serverless for me. Next, let's talk about reliability. Something else that's absolutely critical in every developer's life. When your app needs to be up 24/7, there's no gambling with that. I mean, reliability is everything. Especially if your app is mission critical or if you've got users all over the world. This is where you see how good TiDB Serverless cloud native distributed architecture is. It's got multi-region support from the start. Now, what does multi-region support? I know it sounds fancy, right? But what does it mean for someone who just wants their app to stay up? Simply put, your data is copied across different geographic regions. So if one region has an outage, a data center goes down, network issues, or whatever, your app seamlessly switches to another region. no downtime. And I think that's honestly really reassuring if as a developer, right? Now, how about Planetscale? Do they have this multi-region thing too? Like their automatic scaling? Planetscale keeps multi-region support for the enterprise customers only. So if you're on a cheaper plan and you want that extra safety and global reach, you'll hit a limit. So another point for TiDB serverless in the reliability category. Now, we've covered scalability and reliability. Now for the fun stuff, those features that make a developer's life easier and make their app stand out. I think you're gonna like this part. At TiDB, we have some very impressive tools, especially when it comes to AI. AI is absolutely everywhere these days, and if you don't notice it, you're living under a rock. So let's see how TiDB serverless is using it in our database. One example is our vector search. It opens up a lot of possibilities for building AI apps that need graph-based reasoning. Things like recommendation engines, knowledge graphs, or any app that needs to understand how data points are related. So instead of just searching for keywords, it gets the meaning behind your data. It lets you go beyond simple text matching and look at the relationships within the data, which is so important for AI, right? Now, what else does TiDB serverless have in terms of AI? We've also have something called AI-assisted SQL query editing too, which helps developers write better queries. It's kind of like having a SQL expert looking over your shoulder and analyzes your queries and suggests ways to make them faster. And I think another notable feature is database branching, which is when developers can quickly make copies of the database for testing or development. I think this can really help speed up your workflow and make development more agile too. Now, hold on. I know that's a lot to take in, but Planetscale must have some cool stuff too, right? For sure. Planetscale also offers database branching, very useful for developers. They're also great at non-blocking schema changes, which means you can change your database structure without stopping everything. Sounds perfect for apps that need to stay up all the time. So both have some great features for developers. But okay, Chris, this is on a TiDB YouTube channel. So what actually sets TiDB serverless apart? I'm glad you asked. What I find interesting about TiDB serverless is how forward-thinking our features are. These AI tools show we understand how app development is changing. AI is becoming so important, so having a database that integrates these capabilities is a big advantage. Our goal is not to just meet today's needs, but we're getting developers ready for what's next as well. Now, let's talk about the big one, cost. Everybody cares about that, right? Absolutely. And this is where TiDB serverless pay-as-you-go model shines. You only pay for what you use, which is nice, right? Perfect for startups, anyone with workloads that change, or anyone who wants to avoid extra costs. And we've also got that free tier to get started, right? Which I think is always a plus. Now, what about Planetscale's pricing? Well, Planetscale also offers a free tier without advanced features, which is great for getting started without any upfront costs. However, even when you choose a free tier, you need to choose your resources up front. This means you're paying for a certain level of performance, whether you're fully utilizing it or not. Additionally, even the cheaper options can get expensive, and to access those really important features like automatic scaling, you're looking at their pricier enterprise plans. So bottom line, if your budget is tight and you prefer a flexible pricing model where you only pay for what you use, TiDB serverless sounds better. Its free tier lets you try it out without spending anything, making it easy to get started and experiment before committing. And on the other hand, while Planetscale offers a free tier with advanced features, the requirement to choose resources up front and the higher cost of the enterprise plans might not be as cost effective for those with fluctuating workloads or limited budgets. However, for businesses that need the advanced capabilities and are prepared to invest in higher tier plans, Planetscale remains a strong contender still. So it's an exciting time to be a developer for sure. And with platforms like TiDB serverless paving the way, I think the possibilities are huge. And for anyone wanting to explore this new world of AI database, I definitely recommend checking out our TiDB serverless free tier. It's the best way to try out these tools and see how they can change how you build apps. No risk. Just jump in and experiment, and you might discover a whole new set of possibilities. I'll make sure to put a link in the description below. And I want to thank you all for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.